Hello and welcome to episode 82 of the HamCorp Training Manual. Today is exactly 1 year since HamCorp was founded. We would like to thank you all for your continued support, and as a reward, your lunch break today will be 5 minutes longer. In this episode, parent company HamCorp sends Phil over to check on our progress over the last year as part of a performance review. If you don't remember Phil, please refer to episodes 53 and 53.5 before continuing. After the review, we enter ZPM and start to make the basic components for ZPM.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear HamCorp. Now just get back to work. I'm just kidding. I want to be the first one to congratulate you on 1 year of productivity. You've done phenomenal work since we authorized HamCorp's creation. But I hope you're ready for your yearly review. Can we do a quick run through of your progress so far? Show me the highlights.
Okay, take a look at the map. This is Ham Tower, where you are now. This is the power building. We have novel Tesla Tower technology that ionizes the air to transport power.
Is that safe?
We get our power from multiple sources, primarily high-octane gasoline and nitrobenzene, found here in the oil refinery.
HamCorp, powered by Hog. Good. You've officially met the bare minimum requirements.
Nice. We also have a solar tower, fully automated.
Boring.
And nuclear power.
I'm listening.
This is the nuclear power plant. We do both fission and fusion, and that's all about the power. We also have an auto-crafting unit and ore processing facility.
Very good.
And of course, as you know, we have a Fat Phil's. It sees plenty of use, I assure you.
Well, I'm impressed. Man, mentioning Fat Phil's has reminded me. You're going to be contacted soon about another potential business venture. As for HamCorp, keep it up. Make number go up, and make so number go up by more than last time number by what go up.
What? Say that again?
Did I stutter? We'll circle back at the next stand-up.
Well, that went pretty well. What to do now? To be honest, before I do anything, I want to I want to do this quest to get a pure tier. Because I have so much warp and it's starting to get very annoying. I'm being attacked by things. It's starting to affect my recording. Things just pop up or I get nauseous, like in-game, while recording, and it's just a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to quickly finish up this quest. I can submit a bunch of these things to get a pure tier. I don't know if this quest is repeatable. I think it is, but I think it has a really, really long cooldown time. The pure tier is basically a way to clear your warp completely. I have to suffer through warp effects for like a minute or two. So I'm going to go do that somewhere away from the base to keep everything safe. Finally, freedom from laying eggs and fucking getting attacked by bats. Oh my god, I can't wait. Just gonna go float in the air somewhere over here. Let's see what happens. Oh my god, that's a lot of warp effects happening all at once. Well, I'll be back when it ends, and we can continue on to ZPM. And now we are officially in ZPM, Tier 7. Really, I have no idea where to go from here. So I have to read some of these quests. Okay, there are a few checkbox quests here, so let's finish those up. First of all, there's the Enriched Naquata Rich Solution. This is a checkbox quest, or you can get the actual item. This I've done before. I needed to do this for the Trinium. So this is actually already done, and in fact, most of these quests are already done. I just need to grab these items to actually finish the quest, which is a bit annoying because I have them already being processed. This is also a checkbox quest. A bit of information. So is this. And so are some of these, but I'm going to leave them as not complete because they have a bit of information and I don't want to complete them until I actually complete what the quest wants. Meanwhile, this way to the left, there's more of the same, making more parts. And we're going to need a lot of europium, samarium, naquata alloy, and vanadium gallium. The europium can become painful, so I'm going to have my fusion reactor running like all the time. I'm also going to need a bit of osmiridium and quantum stars and trinium to make the sensors and emitters. But overall, most of the ingredients that go into these components are not too bad for me. There's also this quest line over here. This is for making Naquadria. I first need to get my hands on some low quality Naquadria phosphate dust. This is a ZPM centrifuge recipe, so I'm going to need Naquadria oxide mixture dust, which I think I have, and phosphoric acid. This is not too bad because I can just put down 2 LUV energy hatches and I can do this. And I get indium here, so that's kind of nice. I think I should probably stop replicating indium now. Yeah, I'm gonna take out this data orb. Not really low on indium anymore. Well, I only have 1,000. That's not that much, but it's pretty good. Alright, first things first, new components. Oh, it changed the name of the quest to You Can't Get Enough of This. Yeah, that's true. I'm currently crafting and scanning a set of LUV components so I can teach the recipes for the ZPM ones. And I was taking a look at these other quests and finishing these ones, and the enriched Naquata ingot, there are 2 ways to make this. So one, you can just blast the enriched Naquata dust, which is what I expected the best way to be. But there's also this recipe for the same amount of Naquata dust, because this is enriched Naquata sulfate dust. 11 of it gives you 1 ingot, but 11 of this electrolyzes to 1 enriched Naquata dust. So I shouldn't have been electrolyzing these, but I have been. I've been automatically sending it to this electrolyzer, so I'm going to stop doing that because it's so much cheaper to use that other recipe to smelt it. I can just use a storage bus and an interface. So interface on the mainnet and storage bus here. And now I can set the filter to enriched Naquata sludge dust, or enriched Naquata sulfate dust. This way, this output bus doesn't get clogged, and I don't need to split the outputs among multiple buses. I'm still scanning these things to make my data sticks. But in the meantime, there's a quest here about a paintbrush. I'm just going to finish this off, and I'm not going to be using the paintbrush because there's a better alternative. So far, I've been using spray cans, and they're nice, but there is something else that I could have made quite a while ago. I could have made it after finishing the plat line, but it is the infinite spray can. This needs a dire crafting table, so I will have to make one of those. And it uses quite a bit of tungsten, palladium, and a lot of iridium. Also needs an IV world accelerator, IV battery buffer, 256k ME storage component, a bunch of stuff. But I really like the crafting recipe here. It's kind of funny. It makes sense. So there's a rainbow cactus on a piece of sand, and it's world accelerated, so it grows fast. There's a fence here to break the rainbow cactus as soon as it grows, and a fan to push it into the annihilation plates. And that gets stored in this ME network inside of this infinite spray can, according to the lore. And then from the storage, there's a formation plate on the nozzle, and that's how you get the dye. It's really funny. I like it a lot. Very cool. So I'm going to make the paintbrush for the sake of the quest, and I'm also going to make this. It also means I can retire all of these spray cans and free up a bunch of space in my base management backpack. So the tooltip here explains how to use this infinite spray can. If you left click, it changes colors, and if you hold shift, it will change colors in the opposite direction. Middle click gives you a color choice GUI, like this, which is nice. Middle clicking a block will copy the color. Sneak middle clicking will lock or unlock the spray can, and control middle clicking will allow or prevent the left click action. And solvent is basically to remove the paint from anything you paint. Almost done scanning now. I made a few more scanners to speed this up a little bit, but it's still quite slow. 30 minutes for each component. I'm also going to go ahead and make a ZPM field generator while I'm at it, because why not? After that, the ZPM assembling machine should be pretty easy to make once I have everything taught to the system. We'll see where to go after I finish these 4 quests. Here is an issue. I have my data sticks now, but not enough space in the data access hatch. And this structure can only have 1 data access hatch. I could either make a whole new assembly line, which is quite expensive and really inefficient because these aren't running 100% of the time, or I can make a data bank. And indeed, this is part of the ZPM quest line. So I need to finish this quest first, the beginning of the end game. I don't know if that's true. I don't think I'm in the end game yet, which just means I need to make a bunch of these parts that are used in a lot of machines. And then after that, there are a few new quests, but I'll look at the others later. Right now, I really need the data bank. So I will also gather the things needed for the data bank. Now, looking at these blocks I need to make, they are mostly fine. All of the materials I can make at this point. There's nothing that I haven't seen before. The only issue is I need a ZPM assembler to make the computer casing and a ZPM assembler in a clean room to make the advanced computer casing. That's a little bit annoying. I'm going to have to juggle some data sticks and move things around just to make my first ZPM assembler and also my first few parts. but then soon after that, we'll be able to automate it for good. So just to recap, the plan right now, first, I'm going to make my set of components, including the ZPM assembler. Then I'll make the first batch of computer parts for the beginning of the endgame quest. And after that, I'll make the data bank, which I can use to store more data sticks for the assembly line. And then I will fully automate all of the ZPM parts. I have encountered another issue. So I'm trying to make the emitter, the ZPM emitter, and I'm out of tritium. I'm very, very low on tritium. Not only that, I am also very low on enriched Naquata oxide mixture dust. In fact, I'm basically out. This is my main source of tritium, because if you remember when I set this up, I said that the Naquata oxide mixture dust barely gives you any tritium. It is a lot of Naquata oxide mixture dust to get 1 tritium, and I don't think 3000 of this is even enough to get me what I need for 1 emitter, which means I need to get more of this enriched Naquata oxide mixture dust. You can get this from processing Naquata ore or enriched Naquata ore. Also enriched Naquata oxide mixture ore, but I don't have access to that. For enriched Naquata ore and Naquata ore, there is a meteor I can summon. This will give me a bit of Naquata ore. Only 542 without expanding the radius. So I guess it's 40% more than that if I expand the radius, which is still not a lot. So I'm probably going to have to do this ritual a couple of times. I still haven't dug up my big ball of profit, so I'm gonna have to do that first. And obviously I'm not gonna do this by hand because even I'm not that crazy. And I mean it, I dug up the first few layers and I was already sick of it. I'm gonna have to set up my miners up there, and I do need to be careful to set them up in such a way that it doesn't dig up any blocks below it, like anything from my base. So I will have to choose the positions a bit carefully. But after digging up this ball of profit, I can summon another ball of profit, and another one, and another one. And then I may finally have enough trinium to continue. Resource costs have gone up. Here are the chunk boundaries. So this is gonna take some time. Pretty sure the way this works is that it mines up everything in the chunk at the same level. So it's just going to do this chunk that I'm in right now, and then this other miner is going to only do this chunk, and eventually it'll go all the way down, I think all the way to bedrock. And then, bottom up, it will start mining in the surrounding chunks. So this is gonna take some time. Oh, here's a quick tip. Turn off replace with cobblestone. We don't want that, because otherwise I'm gonna have to come here and dig this up by hand anyway. So that's not fun. Regardless, there are going to be some blocks I have to dig up by hand, or maybe I'll just launch TNT at it or something. I don't know. I'll figure out a nicer way to get rid of these garbage blocks in between. Okay, be back later. Ooh boy, all mined up. This looks really cool. Now the question is, how do I remove all of these filler blocks? Because I'm not going to go in and mine them all. That's too much work. I thought I was done with blood magic now, but one more ritual. Couldn't hurt, right? The bound pickaxe. This uses LP and mines a lot of things at once. This is simply a binding ritual with a pickaxe of the core, which is an infusion, a fairly simple infusion. And in fact, I have already made a pickaxe of the core. Now all that's left is to do the binding ritual and hope that it doesn't destroy my pickaxe. And that gets us the bound pickaxe. Now this should do a bit of work. If I just right click, it's still not the entire meteor, but it's significant amounts. So I should be able to clear this up pretty soon, and then we can summon the other meteor, which is what I wanted to do this whole time, to get more Naquata. This uses an IV field generator, and the radius of this meteor is a bit smaller than the one I had before. The one I had before had a radius of 22, including the boost, and this one is going to have a radius of 18. I only say this because if I were summoning a meteor that is larger, I probably would have to move my miners, but I don't need to do that here. Regardless, I'm going to start a backup, and now I'm going to start the ritual. And hopefully, I can get the fuck out of here quick enough that I don't die again. Ow. I was in the control tower and I still took damage. And I was right, it didn't destroy the multi-block miners, so that's nice. Now hopefully this gives me enough ore that I'm able to make the trinium I need to proceed. If not, I'll just summon more meteors. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will craft a data bank to allow us to store more data sticks for the assembly line. HamCorp would like some feedback from employees. Do you enjoy short skits, such as the intro of this episode? Or how about special story episodes, such as episode 53.5? Let us know. See you next time.